Well, here's something fun. I'm as sick as a dog. Last night my throat really hurt and I had the chills and I was running a fever. Today I can't hear out of my right ear. And I'm all achy and sore. I originally thought that was because I had just started going to noon hockey and I'm an old man and I was starting to, I was just feeling the effects of that, but no, I'm sick. Sarah's home from work today, she's sick. It's not good. But I decided to come in and finish the sermon so that at least I could rest for the next couple of days, because assuming we're going to do something on Sunday, here is what we're going to do. I need you to think about this for the sermon. I need you to think about who you would be if you could be anyone in the Bible. Who would you choose to be like? Now, the only exception here is you can't say Jesus, because everybody ought to try and be like Jesus. So he's off the table. Who else would you rather be? Who would you like to be like? Would you like to be like David and be brave like him? Would you like to preach like Paul? Would you like to be like Tabitha? If you don't know who Tabitha is, go look her up. Who would you like to be like? I have an answer that I'm going to give you on Sunday. And I really do want to hear your answers. As we get together Sunday morning, I'm going to ask you, it's going to be audience participation time. I'm going to ask who you would be if you could be anyone. And that includes the kids. I want your kids to have an answer as well. So think about who you would be, because I think there is one person in the New Testament that God highlights over and over and over again because of the example that this person sets. And that person is going to be the one we look at on Sunday morning. It's going to show us what faith looks like when it's in action. You see, we've been talking for 10 weeks about this sermon series called Growing Up, and we've covered a lot of different ground, but sometimes it's better to see it than to talk about it. And so I found an example that puts a lot of that teaching together. The sermon is entitled, Faith in Action, Why Seeing is Sometimes Better Than Hearing. I have an answer to who I would like to be. I'm curious if anyone else chooses the same one. Bring your answer for Sunday morning. Then in our Bible study at 10 o'clock, we are still in 2 Kings, and we are now in chapter 3. When we were in chapters 1 and 2, the focus was on the prophets. We were talking about Elijah and Elisha. The picture now switches again, and it goes back to the kings. And so we're talking about what the king of Israel and the king of Judah are doing. And at this point, they're going to war. But they're going to war for a bad reason. The plans they made are not that good. And they've made several mistakes along the way. 2 Kings chapter 3 is mostly an instruction on what not to do when you plan to do something. There are some redeeming qualities, some people who step in and do the right thing. We will notice them. But just read this one little quick story and you will find lots to talk about, I think. 2 Kings chapter 3, the Bible study is called The Best and Worst Laid Plans. And we're going to learn a little bit about how to plan for the future. Assuming I get it together, and assuming I can talk, and assuming I can sort of sing, and assuming everything's okay, that's what we're going to do on Sunday morning. And if I can't, then maybe I'll just hand everyone a Bible and it'll be Do-It-Yourself Sunday. You'll figure out your own sermon. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see you then.